We're in the very, very scenic, the heart of Karnataka, Shivamogga, and we're joined by the state president of the BJP, Mr. B.Y. Vijayendra. Shivamogga, of course, very, very special to your heart, I'm sure. It's also your family's bastion. First, I want to ask you, how is it going? What is the wave that you're seeing in this constituency?
The Shivamogga Lok Sabha constituency has always been BJP's bastion. And in the present scenario, Narendra Modi's popularity and the development work carried out in last 10 years by B.Y. Raghavendra, Member of Parliament, this is helping him a lot. I am pretty sure we will again win this constituency very comfortably.
Okay, thank you first of all for joining us on the Times Now election yatra on the bus. We've in fact crisscrossed several parts of the constituency as well, speaking to the voters. You mentioned a saffron wave here, Modi wave. There's also a Raghavendra wave. But another stalwart leader of the BJP, K.S. Ishwarappa, is contesting as an independent. Is that going to be a threat for the party?
Not at all. See, as I told you, people of this constituency are looking at the development work that has taken place in last 10-15 years, and especially during Yediyurappa's tenure as Chief Minister. Every family in the entire constituency, even today, they appreciate good work carried out during BJP government here in Karnataka. Adding to this, Narendra Modi's popularity means in terms of development that has been carried out in last 10 years under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister, even that is helping a lot to B.Y. Raghavendra. So Ishwarappa contesting as a rebel or as an independent will have zero impact on these elections.
Okay. He says that he's a Hindutva icon. He says he's fighting against dynasty politics. He says that there's family politics happening and that's what he's fighting against. These are some of the issues that BJP speaks about. So do you feel that the BJP voters will swing towards him?
Not at all. What the issues which Ishwarappa is trying to raise. See, when it comes to development, everybody know development work that has been carried out by Raghavendra. Secondly, when it comes to family politics, say Raghavendra has been MP for last 15 years, last 3 tenures. And Ishwarappa himself, before Raghavendra filed nomination, Ishwarappa organized a special puja for Raghavendra and to ensure that Raghavendra should win with a margin of more than 3 lakh. And today, for whatever reasons Ishwarappa is contesting here as a rebel in Shivamogga Lok Sabha constituency, will not have any impact either on voters or in the constituencies. People are comfortable with Narendra Modi ji government. People are comfortable with Raghavendra as Member of Parliament.
Your families also go back several years, several decades in fact. Ishwarappa and Mr. Yediyurappa as well started together in the RSS. So is there a lot of goodwill? In fact, when you suspended him from the party, he also said that Vijayendra has suspended me, but he does not know when I'm contesting as an independent. It's obvious that I've left the BJP. Has it turned very bitter?
See, it's not Vijayendra's decision to expel Ishwarappa ji. Our party is a national party. We have a disciplinary committee headed by one Mr. Lingaraj Patil. After consultation with all our senior leaders and also with our Delhi party high command, he has taken the decision of expelling Ishwarappa ji for 6 years. So there's nothing personal between Yediyurappa family and Ishwarappa family. Of course, Ishwarappa ji wanted his son to contest from Haveri Lok Sabha constituency. But at the end of the day, it was a decision taken by national leadership. So unnecessary blaming Yediyurappa ji or Vijayendra party president, it's not going to help Ishwarappa ji or his son.
Okay, all right. He's mentioned that, power has been centered around this family. Is it something that has come up now? Has it been brewing? Did the BJP try reaching out to him when he said he's upset with the party? What really happened? Because he refused to cede even when several BJP leaders reached out to him asking him not to contest.
When my name was declared, when I was appointed as a party's state president, Ishwarappa himself appreciated the decision of our party high command. In fact, he told party will be strengthened more under the leadership of Vijayendra ji. But all of a sudden, when his son has been, when his son could not get the ticket or he did not get an opportunity to contest the Lok Sabha election, so all these theories have started from Ishwarappa. But ultimately, the cadres of Karnataka, BJP cadres are happy with my style of functioning. I have been traveling across the state, and more importantly, I have been working in the party since 12, 14 years. So it's not overnight that party high command has chosen me as the party president. Nor party high command has not chosen me just because I'm son of Yediyurappa. I have been working in party for the last 10 to 12 years, and our national leadership has taken a call. So blaming Yediyurappa ji family unnecessarily is not going to help Ishwarappa in any way.
Okay, coming to, you're the state president of the party. First phase of elections in Karnataka, the second phase overall has been done already. What is the mood that you're sensing? Is the BJP also somewhere, was it worried about anti-incumbencies because several sitting MPs had been dropped?
So in spite of dropping sitting MPs, the mood of Karnataka is pretty clear. Of course, we had a big setback in last assembly election. But when it comes to Lok Sabha election, the people of Karnataka, the voters of Karnataka are smart. They do understand the one vote or one Lok Sabha seat is definitely going to help Narendra Modi ji. So each and every Lok Sabha constituency is important for Bharatiya Janata Party in strengthening the hands of Narendra Modi ji. And the voters of Karnataka are also aware of the fact that, to strengthen Narendra Modi ji in the interest of the country, we have to vote for Bharatiya Janata Party and JDS here in Karnataka. So I am pretty confident that the people of Karnataka will definitely they have forgotten the past what they vote, because last assembly election they voted for Congress. Now during Lok Sabha election they will vote for BJP and for Narendra Modi ji.
Okay, you mentioned the setback in the assembly elections. It's all about Siddaramaiah guarantees. Do you think it has become a battle between Siddaramaiah guarantee versus Modi guarantee? And do you think because of these guarantees, because of the freebies as the BJP calls it, there is a big challenge for the party here in the Lok Sabha elections as well?
So I would like to ask Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, how long can he sustain these freebies? Because today, after Congress government has come to power here in Karnataka, development has come to standstill. No development here in Karnataka in last 10 months. No money has been released for any assembly constituency for development work. This is a very bad situation here in Karnataka because people expect elected representative to work in their constituency. But no MLAs, no funds. I mean, MLAs are not able to work in their constituency because there are no funds. So people are cursing this government. Rather, I would say, in spite of Congress guarantee, today the Congress government here in Karnataka is one of the most unpopular government, because in just span of 10 months, the popularity of this government and the chief minister has come down.
Okay, and what do you expect will happen in the assembly elections in the Karnataka government after the Lok Sabha polls? Because the chief minister Siddaramaiah campaigning extensively in the Mysuru region, he has made it a personal battle for him, home constituency. DK Shivakumar in the Bengaluru rural constituency says, if you want to see me as the chief minister, then ensure my brother wins from here.
Pratima, trust me, mark my words. Whether it's Mysore, Madikeri Lok Sabha constituency, which is a bastion of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, and also Bangalore rural, which is Congress's strong bastion, and more importantly, DK Shivakumar's strong bastion. Both the constituency, Mysore Kodagu Lok Sabha constituency as well as Bangalore rural, Bharatiya Janata Party will win comfortably.
But what happens to the Congress government then? Will there be a change after Lok Sabha sweep?
You should ask DK Shivakumar ji, because he is the one who is eagerly waiting to occupy the Chief Minister's post. But as far as Lok Sabha election is concerned, their guarantees, their false assurances, their utterances against Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is not going to help them, nor is going to fetch any votes for Congress party. Bharatiya Janata Party will sweep Karnataka Lok Sabha poll.
Okay. I want to ask you, because your father, Mr. Yediyurappa, is known as somebody who is a mass leader. His appeal goes to people from all communities. The statements that have been made by the Prime Minister recently talking about the reservation, saying that the rights are being given away to Muslims, or when he says that Congress is doing appeasement, the Congress party says that minorities are being attacked. Such statements, does it hit your credibility here or Mr. Yediyurappa's, or do you think that's going to work against the BJP?
See, what Narendra Modi ji has said is a fact, because Congress government the appeasement politics of Congress government has stooped to such a level. Last week, Neha, a Hindu girl, she was murdered in a daylight at Hubli. But absolutely there is zero response by the state government and chief minister and the home minister. In fact, chief minister stoops to level of saying that murder has taken place because of their personal reasons. So the appeasement politics of Congress party is not going to help them. Even during the last tenure as chief minister, Siddaramaiah the chief minister, his own party MLA, Dalit MLA, Akhanda Srinivas Murthy in Bangalore, minority people, anti-social elements barged into the house of MLA in Bangalore. His house was burned down, but absolutely there are no steps taken by the Congress government nor then party president D.K. Shivkumarji. So this is the state of affairs here in Karnataka. Even the last 2 days back in Yadgiri district, one more Hindu Karyakarta was murdered. So one is love jihad here in Karnataka, and secondly Pakistan Jindabad sloganeering at Vidhan Sauda. See, all these developments here in Karnataka has definitely has sent a very wrong message across the state. So people of Karnataka are cursing the state government and Siddaramaiah government.
Okay, in the reserve seats in Karnataka, because the chief minister has also spoken about Ahinda votes, he sees it as his vote bank. They've been loyal to Mr. Siddaramaiah. Apart from that, the Congress party, the chief minister also saying that Vokkaligas have been insulted by the BJP. Will these factors work against the BJP and in favor of Congress?
See, this drama baji of the Congress party and Siddaramaiah is not going to help in Lok Sabha election. See, earlier Siddaramaiah ji always used to tell Ahinda, Ahinda, Ahinda. Now he has forgotten all the backward class community. He is only going behind the minorities. He has not given any schemes to backward class people. In fact, for the first time in the history of Karnataka, the present Congress government, Siddaramaiah as a finance minister, has taken away 24,000 crores money in the budget which has been reserved for the development of SC and ST community. Never in the history of Karnataka. Siddaramaiah, who claims himself as the champion of backward class and the Dalit community, what made Siddaramaiah to take away money that was reserved for SC and ST community? So this is the state of affairs here in Karnataka due to the unscientific planning of guarantee schemes by Congress government. No single pay has been given for guarantee for the development of the state. At the same time, the money which has been reserved for other development work, for other backward class and SC, ST community, even that money has been snatched away for other purposes. So this is the state of affairs. You will not believe, Pratimaji, probably in 2-3 months, the state government will struggle to pay the salaries of the state government employees. This is the ground situation.
Okay, all right. Another constituency that's I'm sure close to your heart is Mysore. You were to contest from there. You're also, nurturing that constituency. That's also the constituency of the chief minister. What do you see as a result there? There was also a lot of talk about how it could work against the BJP. The prime minister campaigning there fears that Vokkaliga votes may win away from the BJP. How do you see that play out?
So today, Bharatiya Janata Party and JDS, we are together. Our former Prime Minister Devagowda ji repeatedly and publicly had claimed, in the interest of the country, Narendra Modi ji has to become Prime Minister for one more term. So this has helped BJP and JDS coming together, has helped both Bharatiya Janata Party as well as JDS. So when it comes to Mysore, Mandya and other Old Mysore Lok Sabha constituency, BJP and JDS will sweep in this Old Mysore region. If you talk about Chikballapur, you talk about Mandya, you talk about Mysore Lok Sabha constituency, BJP is bound to win in this constituency and Mandya Kumaraswamy will win comfortably.
So what's your message to the chief minister whose home constituency it is and to D.K. Shivkumar who's a Vokkaliga strongman?
See, being a chief minister of a state, you should always take every community together. You are the chief minister of the Karnataka. You are not chief minister for only minorities. So chief minister should keep this issue in mind and work for the welfare of the state. But unfortunately, this is not been so. It has always been, always, see, in spite of, farmers are struggling due to drought. Chief Minister is willing to give 10,000 crores for the development of minorities, but has not spared even 2,000 crores for the farmers who are in distress during the drought. So this is the, can you imagine a Chief Minister stooping to this level? He is not willing to help the farmers who are in distress, but he can stoop to any level for the appeasement of minorities. This is the state of affairs here in Karnataka.
Okay. Lastly, I want to ask you, as the BJP president, how do you rate yourself? And any victory in Karnataka, whatever seats BJP gets, how many are you expecting? Are you going to credit yourself, the party, or how much do you rate yourself as a president of the BJP?
See, this is an election where people of Karnataka, also the people of country, who are looking at Narendra Modi ji and who has seen the development work that has been carried out in last 10 years. So the mandate is for Narendra Modi ji government, the mandate is for BJP-led NDA government. So I don't want to claim anything here. I am happy working as a party president. I am happy touring across the state as a humble party worker. Even the cadres are also enjoying. So definitely, I'm feeling really great that Bharatiya Janata Party or party high command has given me such a golden opportunity to work as a president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm more than happy with this.
So how much do you rate yourself out of 10?
There's no question of rating myself. I would rate 10 out of 10 for my Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. There you have it, Mr. Vijayendra, the state president of the BJP, confident that the BJP will do exceptionally well in Karnataka, much better than before. Also saying in Shivamogga, there's no question of even a contest. It's going to be a saffron sweep, it's going to be a Modi sweep, and it's going to be a Raghavendra sweep.